Daniel hadn't slept in 11 days. He knew this because he'd been counting the scratches on the bedroom wall, one for each sunrise he'd witnessed with burning, sleepless eyes. His wife, Claire, had stopped asking what was wrong. She'd stopped speaking to him altogether, moving through the apartment like smoke, always in his peripheral vision but gone the moment he turned. The doctors called it acute psychosis. Daniel called it survival. The mirror in the hallway was the problem. Daniel had covered it with a bedsheet on day 3, but the sheet kept sliding. Every time he passed, he caught a glimpse of something that wasn't quite his reflection. A version of himself that moved a half-second too late, that smiled when Daniel wasn't smiling, that pressed its palm flat against the glass as if testing for weakness. He tried shattering it. The hammer bounced back and broke 2 of his fingers. The mirror didn't crack. Claire found the journal on day 9. Daniel had filled 200 pages in handwriting that started neat and devolved into frantic spirals. The same sentence, over and over, in dozens of languages he didn't consciously know. He is learning my face. She called his brother Marcus, who arrived within the hour and sat across from Daniel at the kitchen table, speaking in the slow, careful tone reserved for wounded animals. Daniel stared at Marcus's eyes and felt the cold certainty that something behind them was staring back, cataloging, memorizing, rehearsing. On the 11th night, the reflection finally spoke. It pressed both hands to the glass and mouthed words that Daniel could hear, not with his ears, but somewhere deeper, in the wet tissue behind his eyes. It's almost time. You've taught me everything. You can rest now. Daniel ran. He ran through the hallway, past Claire, down the stairs and into the street, screaming for someone, anyone, to look at him and confirm that he was real, that he was still himself, that the face he wore was his own. A stranger grabbed his shoulders. Daniel looked into the man's eyes and saw nothing but fear and confusion. He laughed with relief so violent it became sobbing. He was real. He was safe. He was free. But only, then he realized, the entity in the mirror had escaped on day 3. The same day Daniel covered the glass. For 11 days it had been living Daniel's life, sleeping in his bed, eating his food, wearing his face with increasing perfection, while the real Daniel stood paralyzed and screaming inside the mirror, watching a stranger in his body slowly, methodically, learn how to be him. The man now sobbing in relief on the street was not Daniel at all. The mirror in the empty apartment reflected only an ordinary hallway and a shape inside the glass that had finally, mercifully, stopped moving.